Hello everyone. I hope all you are doing great. Today we have Devrato Banik with us. He has completed his bachelor degree in B.Tech from Iiest Shibpur, and currently he is working as an ASIC design engineer in Synopsys. So first of all, I would like to thank you for giving your time for our YouTube channel VLSI for all. So let's start your interview with a very basic question. Like first of all, I would like to request to you to brief yourself in a brief means in a brief introduction.
Okay. Thank you, Prahad. It's my pleasure to be to get interviewed in VLSI for all. So basically, I'm Devabrata Bonik. So I did my B.Tech in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering from Iiest Shibpur, and basically my interest lies in the domain of electronics and especially in the domain of digital VLSI. So I was mostly focused on on digital VLSI subjects during my preparation. So after my graduation, I during the campus placements, I secured. I got a job in the Synopsys in the profile of basic digital design engineer, and I'm currently working as a IP development engineer. So that's it from my side.
Okay. So first of all, let's start from your B.Tech journey. Like you have done your B.Tech from IIEST. So can you explain something about your college? What is this college all about? And how's your college life?
So yeah, so I did my graduation in electronics and telecommunication engineering in Iiest Shibpur. So this is the second oldest engineering college in the country. The curriculum is quite good, and we have to secure a good amount of rank, and the cutoff is also quite high for securing branch like electronics and telecommunication in this college. So basically, the first year of this institute is like common for all, like the subjects, like all of the subjects are being taught to us from the basics of all of the subjects. And from the second year, we started moving slowly into our electronics and communication domain. Then
Mhm.
basically, my interest generally lies in the domain of analog and the digital part. So initially, I was interested in the analog part. Then I moved to the digital VLSI part. So I focused on the digital VLSI subjects only. Then at the final year at the campus placement, I secured a job in Synopsys in the digital design engineer profile, and I'm currently working as a IP verification engineer in this company.
So, like you told, means it is very difficult to take admission in this college. So, what you have done to get this admission in this college?
Yeah, so basically the admission process for B.Tech is done on the basis of the JEE mains score.
Okay.
So basically
How much
the
rank
cutoff.
you got?
Yeah, so basically the cutoff rank for this electronics and communication domain is around, it varies like year to year. So it will be around 10,000 or 15,000, and some other, for other branches, it will be 25 or 30
Okay.
branches. So basically, so we have to secure a rank between this range, like less than 20 or less than 15 to secure
So it
electrical
means
or electronics. Yeah.
you have to mean, secure good marks in JEE means only then you can
Yeah,
get
yeah,
this
yeah,
college.
yeah. So admission is done only on JEE criteria. Yeah.
So, what do you think? What is the difference between this college and the other colleges we can say about? So, what is the like specialty in this college?
So the specialty, I will say that the research kind of activities in our college is quite good.
Mhm.
So, but but the people in the undergraduate level, they are not all are not very much oriented towards the research domain. So I'll say that those who are willing for the research activities, especially in electronics and also in computer science, they can choose this college and perform higher studies like PhD and all those things. And apart from that, the campus placements are also good. A lot of companies visits, and in computer science there are a lot of software companies. In electronics there are few VLSI companies, and there are many other consulting and management companies. So from that perspective, this is quite good.
So, I think your interview process will be on campus, huh? Means you are placed on campus only, or it was off campus?
Yeah, it was an on-campus placement. So by that time we were doing online classes. So everything went online and work from home kind of thing.
Means your interview process is also online.
Yeah. Everything was done online. Yeah.
Okay, so let's
You
start
can.
with your interview process. What was your experience? How you got the chance here, and what are the different rounds you faced there? Or it was for internship, or it was for full time?
Yeah, so the company visited for a full-time offer. So basically, like every company, they conducted an online screening test, which comprised of mainly three sections. One is the software and the C plus C programming section. One is the digital and the electronics section, and one is the aptitude section.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to secure like a good amount of marks in this screening test. Then only we will be able to get into the interview part. So after this screening, the interview, there were three rounds of interviews. The first round consists of basic questions from the digital electronics and the basics of the C programming. The second round of interview consisted of some advanced level of questions in the digital sequential circuits and sequential elements, and also some small HR questions. And the third one consisted of the HR question, the interests, and uh, other stuffs, other
So,
personal related stuffs.
okay. So you, like you have said, the questions are asked from C also, in the first round itself. So can you explain and elaborate some types of questions which they are asking by hint, like these are the questions? If you
Yeah,
remind me.
so basically the C question was also asked during the screening test. So in the first round of interview, they asked some C question along with it some programming questions from Verilog. So
Mhm.
basically they were, if somebody is proficient in C part, then I think he or she will be able to answer the question, Verilog question. So basically if, and they also asked some digital questions. So it was a mixture of C and digital question. That is what we call as a very long hardware description language question. So
So,
there were
like, what
some.
type of
So
question they were asking? Can you explain?
so
Yeah.
so the type of question was related to the counters, like in sequential elements we the basics of flip flops and latches, the counters and shift register, then the muxes and the small combinational circuits, the delay elements, as well as some questions related to the static timing analysis.
Okay.
So, and also some short Verilog codes. And I mean, Verilog is not mandatory for freshers, but if somebody is somebody is well versed with Verilog, then it will be a plus point for him or her.
Okay. For you are selected in ASIC IP designing part. So,
Yeah, ASIC digital design part. Yeah,
ASIC digital
yeah.
design part. So, there are so many profiles there for which the Synopsys came in the campuses. So, what do you think? Like the question they were asking will be different for different profiles, or will it be same for all the profiles at the college level? So, do you experience that, or do you have any idea about this?
Yeah, so basically, what I think is that like there are different teams across the company. So the team may visit different colleges. So different teams can visit different colleges. Like so, for the analog circuit design part, they will be completely focused on the analog questions. And for the software part and the R&D engineer part, they will be totally focused on the data structure and algorithms and other software related stuff. For digital companies, for digital design part, they will, so for freshers, they will, I believe they will ask the basics of the digital only. And they can also ask some analog basic question, like for a fresher, it is good to have some idea, the basic idea about analog and communication engineering side also, so that I mean, many companies ask questions related to this part also.
Okay, so can you explain your role at the Synopsys? What are you are currently doing there?
So basically, the work mostly revolves around what we have studied in our graduation levels, and apart from that, we have to learn a bit more about Verilog and system Verilog. And so like it is difficult for me to explain because there are variety of things in the project. So it is a very diverse environment. So like if I explain each and everything, then it will not be. I mean, nobody will be able to understand that. Right. So basically, what I will say that the things that we have learned in the college level or the college project level, specifically if any student is involved in some VLSI project, so similar things will be involved in the company, but at a some higher level or at a very
Mhm.
block level or IP level.
So I want to ask you one very common question. I think you are the perfect person for answer that question. Like if there is any undergraduate student, okay, who is not
Okay.
from a very good college, he's from a tier 3 college or tier 2 college, if I am
Yeah.
saying, and he wanted to build his career in a VLSI industry. Okay, so
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
should be his approach so that he can get a good placement in a VLSI company? Because as we are seeing that the scope of this semiconductor industry will be increasing day by day. है ना? So
Yeah. It's
industries
increasing day by day.
industries wanted a good VLSI engineer who have a robust knowledge in the electronic subjects. So what do you think? What should be one approach so that he can easily grab the placement in these core companies?
So the correct approach is, I guess, from second year onwards. So one should start preparing the basics of at least all the subjects. If not all, then the at least the important subjects. For example, the digital and analog electronics, then signals and systems, then the communication system and the devices part. And from third year onwards, he can, according to his interest, he can choose a particular domain and work on that particular domain and build some in-depth concepts. For example, if he chooses the analog, he can start the basics of the MOS amplifiers and what are the various configurations and all those stuff. So if he chooses digital part, then he can start more about the in-depth knowledge of the flip-flops, latches, and sequential circuits, along with some programming, Verilog programming also.
Mhm.
So basically, and also one should also study the basics of software and C programming knowledge. So because these are very much helpful for in every domain. So
Yeah, yeah.
and apart from that, the semiconductor, so like in today's world, many resources and books are available online, so he could, based on this interest, so one can choose a particular book in digital VLSI and start reading that, and start reading some research paper and the recent developments and semiconductor blogs that are available in the internet, and start reading the interview questions and start practicing interview questions, and that will help uh, a student a lot, I guess.
Okay, means you are concentrated mainly like what are the subject they have to approach. Is like first of all, if I can say analog, EDC, and digital electronics, Verilog. These are the important subject which one have to.
Huh. Yeah, which one have to at least get some basic idea about, because like studying only digital will not make any sense, right? So
Yeah.
one should have a little bit idea about the analog and signals and system also, because at the long run this might also help one who is working in a digital industry.
Yes, 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 yes. You are right. So, what I'm saying, like projects plays a very important role in every interview process. So, what type of project you add in your resume, or can you explain a little bit about your project, what you have done?
What I believe is, like, for MTech and Masters, project plays a very important role. But what I believe is, for B.Tech, project does not play as much important role as such, because like my project was not related to digital VLSI, it was related to some devices part. So what I believe is, like, you can do the project sincerely. Like if it interests you, you can do it, or if it doesn't interest you, you can explore that particular skill and you can explore that idea also. So yeah, project plays an important role. Like in the interview, you can expect some 3-4 questions about your projects. So what are their application? What are the future scope of that project? What are the particular research-oriented areas
Uh,
related to that project? So these are
So,
important, I guess.
have you done protocols also? Because I think protocols also plays a very important role.
No, for graduation, I don't think I've done anything related to protocol. I even don't know what the protocol is at that
Okay, okay.
moment of time.
Means companies mainly wanted means a engineer or a student who knows the basics. What he have done, he knows perfectly what he is doing.
Yeah, so I believe, like, if for fresher, I think what one student can do, they can read some semiconductor blogs related to protocol. I think that should suffice, because in-depth knowledge of protocol one cannot get in the college. So one will so only experienced candidates can get some will have in-depth knowledge about the protocols and stuff.
So we
So I
have,
don't think for
yeah.
fresher, yeah,
So we have
yeah,
discussed
continue.
like we have discussed like what are the subject is important for getting a good job in a VLSI company. But can you specify some specific topics from that subject which will be help students in which he or she can give more concentration so that he can be more aware like these are the important topics in these subjects
Yeah,
for
so
prepare.
so based on my experience from experience of interview from 2 3 top product based companies, so what I believe that the questions are mostly related to the sequential circuits and combinational circuits, the basics of adders, subtractors, muxes, then the flip-flop latches, shift registers, counters. So the questions will revolve around this and that. So the interviewer will just change this and new things and will make the question tricky and will assess the candidate based on how he approaches the problem. So this basics of digital is the most important part. Apart from that, the static timing analysis, the timing constraints, so those things are very much important in the interview. So the setup, the concept of setup, hold, and the for flip flop and latches,
Mhm.
and some questions are related to dividers and multipliers. So those are also very important questions. And apart from that, in some interview, some questions related to the sorting algorithms were also asked. So some C questions like basic functions and recursion, as well as some sorting of arrays, and this kind of questions are also very important. And
Okay.
apart from that, if anyone has a good idea about the CMOS VLSI part, then that will also add a plus point.
Like what is dynamo logic
And
and CMOS inverter like
dynamo logic, yeah, kind of CMOS inverter and kind of this kind of thing. And
mhm.
apart from that, for I don't think for freshers the Verilog is that much important, but Verilog and system Verilog are also basic knowledge, so that will also add a plus point for freshers.
So like there is a round called resume shortlisting. Okay, so what do you think how one can means made his resume so that it will be means good for shortlisting process.
Yeah, so I believe the kind of skills that I mentioned in the last question. So if those are there in the resume, then it will make a good impression to the interviewer. And
Mhm.
apart from that, if the project activities are good and very much related to the work profile he applies to, then that will be very beneficial for him for resume shortlisting. So I believe resume does not play as much important role as such if you are applying from college placements, because in some cases what happens is the interviewer doesn't even look at the resume. so so for college placement, I believe these skills are much more important than what you have mentioned in the resume. And yes, of course, if I mention some extra or extracurricular skills, then I think you can expect questions related to those things in
Yeah,
the interview. But I believe we should keep the resume crisp and short and mention only those skills which the candidate is very much confident about.
mm-hmm. So you are right. I think so. There is a doubt from many students. I have also heard they are very confusing. How many projects we should add in our resume? What will be means they are thinking like we will add 4, 5, 1, 2. So can you specify some things like how many projects one should be placed there?
Like it depends on the student. If he has worked on 3 4 projects very much important, or 3 4 major projects, then he can add it. Nothing wrong. And if he hasn't worked on any projects, doesn't matter. So
Okay, okay.
so it
So
depends on the candidate. It depends on the candidate. It depends on the universities. If a university mandates a student to work on 3 4 projects, then I think he should add it in his resume.
so
And I believe if those projects are not related to the VLSI field, then it is not important for them to add there, or they can also skip it because it
okay.
will make the resume long. Yeah.
I think what I have heard from your side, so I will conclude your interview like what you have said. First of all, the important topics, important subjects which are important like ADC, analog, digital, and Verilog. These are the important subjects along with one programming language, either C or C++. And
Yeah,
second one,
C++.
you have to specify some topics, the specific topics from there. And the third one is resume building. You have to put these topics, what you have learned there in the resume part, so that the keywords will be there for resume shortlisting.
Yes, the keywords, if the keywords are there, then the interviewer will be interested to ask questions on these keywords. And anyway, they will be asking questions related to these topics only. But still, if they're mentioned in the resume, then the interviewer will be much more confident.
Okay, so what do you think, like we are providing the platform, VLSI Core is a platform where the people like you will give interaction so that students are getting more information like that. So can you tell something about this channel, like this is a good or not perspective?
I believe like it's a good initiative by VLSI for all, because like what is the most difficult situation in India is like in most of the VLSI companies there is a huge shortage of talent. So that is due to the reason that students not getting proper guidance for this VLSI product based companies preparation. So I think if like many people come up and make a way to solve this problem, then I believe that this is a good approach. Like the this YouTube channel is providing the feedback as well as the experience, combining the experience of many such candidates and then providing this. So I believe that will help a lot of people.
Yes, yes. Because I also think when I was there, there was no so much content on YouTube also from which we can get some experience. Like, okay, if we have to go there, then what types of questions or what type of strategy we have to follow throughout our B.Tech journey so that we can have a good knowledge at the end for taking placement there. So
Yeah,
these are
that's
the
right.
things we are providing from this platform so that people can get more interaction with the people who are placed in a very good companies and doing good work there.
Yeah, great. So what I believe is that like so like it is not possible in this session, but we can have a separate session in which we can discuss specific questions and the specific approaches to tackle a particular question that are asked in the interviews. So we can take a separate session, and I believe VLSI for all this YouTube channel is uploaded various questions also, I guess.
Yeah. Means there are
I
so
think
many
I think
videos in which we have uploaded interview questions related to digital, Verilog, SPA, and also related to
yeah
different domain, different protocols like AHB, APB. I know. So I think
those are very difficult to get. Yeah, those are very much difficult to get in
not
internet.
that much in a difficult, in a very easy way, so that everyone can understand at the undergraduate level also.
Yeah
Means the basic
Okay.
knowledge of that protocol is not a full course, because these are the industrial level protocol and each protocol have much more in itself only. So thank you, Devbrato, for giving your means share your views and experience with our viewers. I think this will definitely help the students who are currently doing means they are studying for core companies and preparing for their. So the things you have shared with us, what are the topics there, what are the subjects they have to study. If they can follow these strategies, I think definitely they can means get a good offer from on campus. So, because this is basically
Yeah
an we are discussing on campus things only in this interview. So I wish you can achieve more success in your life and what other future goals you have. You will achieve that. So thank you, Devrato, for spending this time.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, yeah, to share my experience. Thank you.